Hey, Steelers family! Welcome back to the channel where we break down the latest news, rumors, and drama surrounding our Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive into today's exciting and slightly controversial topics, let me just say this. The Steelers are a team that's always pushing to improve. Whether it's through tough off-season decisions or standout performances, this organization is dedicated to getting back to its winning ways. If you love the Steelers as much as we do, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep this conversation going and help our community grow. All right, grab your terrible towel and let's jump right in. First, let's talk about George Pickens, a name that has been both celebrated and scrutinized this season. Despite a tumultuous year filled with penalties, criticism, and rumors about his future, Pickens managed to finish the season with an impressive accolade. In the Steelers' wild card loss to the Baltimore Ravens, Pickens made a stunning 36-yard touchdown catch, earning him the NFL Way to Play award for Week 19. This recognition highlights players who demonstrate excellent technique, and Pickens' play was truly a bright spot in an otherwise tough game. For context, the Steelers were trailing 28-7 late in the third quarter when Pickens leapt between two defenders to secure the touchdown. While the game ended in a 28-14 loss, that moment felt like a spark, proof of what Pickens is capable of, when everything clicks. As part of the award, the NFL Foundation is donating a $5,000 equipment grant to a youth or high school program of Pickens' choice. Say what you will about the man, but this is a win for the community. Steelers Nation, what do you think? Does this award signal that Pickens is a cornerstone for our offense? Or is it just a fleeting highlight in an otherwise rocky season? Drop your thoughts below. Now, let's address the bigger question. What's next for George Pickens? He's heading into the final year of his rookie deal in 2025, and the Steelers face a critical decision. Head coach Mike Tomlin has been non-committal about a potential contract extension, sparking rumors that the team might consider trading Pickens during the offseason. If this happens, it could mark the end of a promising yet controversial chapter for the wide receiver in Pittsburgh. Would trading Pickens be a mistake, or is it time to move on? Let us know in the comments. This is your team as much as ours, and we want to hear from you. Speaking of trades, popular talk show host Colin Cowherd stirred the pot this week with a jaw-dropping suggestion: trade both George Pickens and T.J. Watt, along with 2 first-round picks, to draft Shedeur Sanders, the highly touted quarterback, prospect and son of NFL legend Deion Sanders. Cowherd argues that the Steelers' current quarterback situation is holding the team back and that making a bold move for Sanders could set the franchise up for long-term success. If you think he's a starting quarterback, you make the move, Cowherd said. Nobody thought Kenny Pickett was a starter. Be proactive. It's the way to do it. Let's be real. Trading T.J. Watt, the heart and soul of our defense, and Pickens would fundamentally reshape this team. But is it worth the gamble for a potential franchise quarterback? Steelers Nation, we've got to ask. Would you sacrifice Watt and Pickens for a shot at drafting Shedeur Sanders? Is Sanders the real deal, or are we looking at another overhyped prospect? Sound off in the comments below. Cowherd's argument is backed by examples from the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens, 2 teams that made bold moves for quarterbacks and reaped the rewards. The Chiefs traded up to draft Patrick Mahomes, turning a solid team into a dynasty with 3 Super Bowl titles. The Ravens took a chance on Lamar Jackson, and while they haven't won it all yet, he's already earned 2 MVP awards and kept the team competitive. Could the Steelers follow a similar path? General Manager Omar Khan faces a tough decision: stay the course or make a franchise-altering move. Steelers Nation, what's your take? Should the Steelers take a risk like the Chiefs and Ravens, or is there another path to success? Finally, we can't ignore the pressure on Mike Tomlin. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2016, and fans are growing restless. With the quarterback position in flux and big decisions looming about players like Pickens and Watt, Tomlin's leadership will be more crucial than ever. Do you trust Tomlin to navigate this offseason successfully, or is it time for the Steelers to consider a new direction? Before we dive into the Rodgers rumors, Let's take a quick look back at the Steelers' 2024 season. At one point, this team looked unstoppable. With Russell Wilson leading the charge, the Steelers sat at an impressive 10-3 record, and fans were starting to dream of playoff glory. But then, the wheels fell off. The Steelers ended the season on a brutal 5-game losing streak, finishing at 10-8 and missing the postseason. Meanwhile, Justin Fields, who started the season strong, at 4-2, found himself benched when Wilson returned from injury. It was a season of tough decisions, and those decisions have carried over into the offseason. Now, Steelers leadership faces a monumental task. Who's the quarterback of the future? Let's not forget that Wilson and Fields were on team-friendly deals in 2024, but that's about to change. If the Steelers want to keep either quarterback, it's going to cost them significantly more in 2025. And if not them, then who? That's where the Aaron Rodgers rumors come in. Rumors have been swirling that the Steelers might consider bringing in Aaron Rodgers, the future Hall of Famer currently with the New York Jets. But according to Steelers insider Jerry Dulac, we can officially squash that speculation. I can tell you it won't be Aaron Rodgers, Dulac said on The Rich Eisen Show. They have no interest in doing that. So there you have it. Rodgers isn't coming to Pittsburgh. And honestly, it's probably for the best. Here's why. Rodgers is 41 years old, and while he's still capable of putting up decent numbers, 3,197 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions in 2024, he's far from the MVP player he used to be. The Steelers' offensive line is still a work in progress, and we all saw what happened to Rodgers behind a shaky line in New York. Bringing him in wouldn't solve Pittsburgh's long-term quarterback dilemma. It would just create more questions. Steelers Nation, what do you think? Would you have liked to see Rodgers suit up for Pittsburgh, or are you glad the team is looking elsewhere? Let us know in the comments. The idea of Rodgers in black and gold hasn't exactly lit up Steelers Nation. Here's why. Steelers fans have seen this movie before. After Ben Roethlisberger's legendary career, the team tried to bridge the gap with stopgap options like Mitch Trubisky and now Russell Wilson. Rodgers would feel like yet another short-term gamble. Rodgers struggled with the Jets' subpar offensive line, and the Steelers' line isn't much better. Why bring in a 41-year-old QB who needs perfect protection to thrive? It's time for a long-term solution. Fans want a quarterback who can grow with the team, not someone who's nearing the end of their career. Whether it's Justin Fields, a new draft pick, or even someone else entirely, the focus should be on the future. With Rodgers out of the picture, the Steelers' focus turns to their current roster and potential off-season moves. Here are the key options. Both quarterbacks showed flashes of potential in 2024. Fields offers youth and mobility, while Wilson brings veteran experience. But can either of them lead this team deep into the playoffs? The 2025 NFL Draft is loaded with intriguing prospects. Should the Steelers use their first-round pick to find their next franchise quarterback? Is there another veteran quarterback out there who could fit the Steelers system better than Rodgers? Steelers Nation, we want to hear from you. Should the Steelers stick with Fields or Wilson? Is it time to draft a quarterback and start fresh? Who's your dream QB for the 2025 season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. One thing we can't ignore is the mutual respect between Rodgers and Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. Their history goes back to the 2010 Super Bowl, where Rodgers and the Packers defeated Tomlin's Steelers. Over the years, they've spoken highly of each other, and the idea of them teaming up has always been intriguing. But thanks to Dulac's insight, we now know that's not going to happen. And honestly, it feels like the right call. The Steelers need to focus on building a team for the future, not reliving the past. All right. It's time for you to weigh in on today's topics. 1. What does George Pickens' way-to-play award mean for his future with the Steelers? 2. Should the Steelers consider trading Pickens or extend his contract? 3. Is Colin Cowherd's bold trade proposal genius or insanity? 4. Do you trust the Steelers' leadership to make the right moves this offseason? Let's keep this discussion going in the comments. Your opinions matter, and together we'll figure out the best path forward for our beloved Steelers. If you've made it this far, you're the real MVP. Do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. This is your one-stop shop for all things Steelers, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching. And as always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go!